Hey, what's happening, everyone? It's GBall, and I have an exciting knife here to unbox for you, coming in from the Ketuo crew. You always get a COA card, sticker, microfiber cloth with your package. Now, if this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment below. Let me know what your carry is looking like. These were just recently released. It is called the Akimbo. From what I've seen, there's about 4 different versions. I think 2 bronze handle, and then 2 of this aqua green color, and then you have polished and then a black wash blade of both. So 4 different ones at the time of release, and from what I've seen, the price point is going to be $220 across the board. We'll have links to the new Ketuo releases down in the description. This one here is the polished M390. You can see there it says Akimbo on the back side, and then Ketuo here on the front. Love the harpoon sheep's foot blade, and then studs and a cutout for the deployment. Not quite studs, but you know exactly what I'm saying. Perfectly centered up there. No front or rear flipper, which is a pretty rare occasion when it comes to Reich and Ketuo's knives. I do like this aesthetic right here. I think it looks really cool. Very futuristic. Full titanium handle. All the hardware is going to be titanium. Milled tie, clip, and it is going to be right hand carry only. There is a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans, and this has a cool construction to it. The handles are actually going to wrap around to meet each other here and give it like a backspacer aesthetic about 1/3 of the way up the spine. I wish that was ran up a little further. I think that would have been even better, just because I'm a big fan of backspacers or the integral look and feel of a knife. I really enjoy the closed off. I enjoy when the spine of the spine is pretty much completely closed off. I think it makes them look better, and I think they ultimately feel better because of that as well. Great access to the lock bar. It is chamfered, very easy to get to. The detent feels really good, especially off those studs. And then you can reverse flick off the cutout or the studs, whichever your little heart prefers. You experts out there will have to let me know about that sharpening choil there. Let's get a look at the size of this. It's not a small knife by any means. Going to come in there at 7 7/8, or maybe just shy of 7 7/8, 2.99 inches of cutting edge, and then about 3 3/8 of total blade. And then for some comparison knives, we have the Spyderco Para 3 up top and the PM2 on the bottom, and the Akimbo is going to fall right in between both of those. And 2 more, the Kaiser Koi Wolf up top, and on the bottom, we have the Concept Fenrir. We'll grab our 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank here and get a look at this clip. I don't think it's going to carry very deep at all, more than a 1/2 inch, no question. And the lanyard is actually going to hang out over top of the pocket clip. So if you rock a lanyard, you'll be a big fan of this setup. Seem to have pretty good retention going over the seam. Let's see what it feels like on the way out. Pretty good retention on there. I'd say fairly strong. Looks like there's going to be plenty of clearance under there to get this in a little bit thicker seams. But as long as that clip is, you wouldn't think it would have much retention. But I'd say that is pretty strong. Get the arch nemesis out here and give the Akimbo a weight check. Now, I like to play a little game here on the channel where I attempt to guess the weight of the knife, and I always invite you to play along. You put your guess down in the comments, ounces or grams, whichever you prefer. Even if you already have a comment down there, go ahead and put your guess. I'm going to give it a go here, and I'm going to say almost 8 inches. It doesn't feel real heavy. Milling on the show side. It don't feel real light, but it's not real heavy either. I'm going to say that it's coming in maybe like a 3/8. I might be a little rusty here too. I'm going to say, let's go 3/6. 3/6. All right, lock it in. 3/6. Oh, I should have stuck. 3.9. So, see, that's why you stick with your first guess. If I would have stuck with 3.8, you'd think I was cheating or something. 112 grams, and it's going to lock in there at 3.9 ounces. So this actually does have a pretty decent heft for its size. Doesn't feel overly heavy, though. Interesting how it's interesting the construction on some of these knives and how they're able to either keep the weight down ultra low, or with a knife like this, you would think it'd be down at 3, closer to 3 more than 4. So pretty cool how Ketuo is able to go back and forth with it. We'll grab the calipers here and get a couple of measurements on the handle and blade. We'll start off with the handle thickness, and that is going to come in at 0.47, 12 millimeters. Go over to the blade stock thickness, and that's going to come in at 3.1 millimeters, 124 thousandths. Behind the edge, 23 thousandths. So very standard stuff across the board. Let's see how this cuts out of the box. We'll use our standard catalog paper here. This is a great blade shape for utility type work, just day-to-day stuff, cutting boxes open. It'll also do really good at slicing. Some people won't like this because it's not a tactical stabby knife, but you could definitely do some slicing with it, no problem. And Ketuo and Reich have done a superb job over the last year, I would say, with their edges. Very consistent, no matter what steel we're talking about, from their budget line all the way up to their very expensive exotic stuff. Very good edges across the board. Could not be happier in that sense with Ketuo and Reich. Very good stuff. Some of the most consistent, some of the best edges here over the last year have come from Reich and Ketuo. We'll grab the driver here and see what we're looking at for the hardware. T8 is in the head there, and that is T8 for the pivot, T8 for the body, and T8 for the pocket clip. Excellent. Yeah, even the insert is going to be T8. Excellent job with Ketuo there. And this is the first collab with August Originals. Now, I'm not familiar with August Originals, but they definitely have the same mindset or outlook on knife design as Ketuo and Reich, because this fits right in with what they typically do. Very futuristic looking knife, but going to be bringing the heat with the fit and the finish. Laser edge out of the box. And the cool thing is, I know this one is an M390, but I believe Reich and Ketuo are going to be spreading out the love when it comes to what steels they're using here moving forward. We'll run this guy through a couple of checks, and then we'll introduce it to the spine whacker. Still perfectly centered up there. The detent is very good, nice and strong off the stud there. Feels very nice. You can even use the cutout if you want from that same side. And then same is going to go for the reverse flick. You can reverse flick off the cutout there, or you can come up under that stud and flick that guy out if you want. Feels very good. Great access to the lock bar. Very easy to get to. The action on the close is smooth. Pretty controlled. Yeah, very controlled, I would say. And it's smooth and very controlled. Easy breezy. The time has come to introduce the Akimbo to the spine whacker, and this is how we go ahead and check for a good lockup. Looks like it's going to be sitting there about 50%, and you can see the steel marking in there as well, M390. We'll give this a couple of love taps to get started. I don't feel any movement up or down or side to side. It actually feels really good, but that doesn't tell us everything. We'll start off with a light tap out towards the tip there, and that puts a lot of stress on our lock. just a light one to get us going. We have had knives here recently fail from a very light, simple tap like that, and that's not a good thing. Ooh, that was a good shot there. It sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds strong. Sounds nice and strong. That is exactly what we're looking for in that department. Now, you know, who is this knife for? Well, it's certainly going to be for a collector. And that's the case with a lot of Ketuo's knives, Reich and Ketuo. They do a lot of collector type stuff. Their designs are out there one way or the other. Now, not all of them. They do have some more simple designs, if you want to say that, but they have a lot of exotic, futuristic type stuff. And I like that because it really opens things up in the knife world. If everything looks like the bug out, you know, it's not very fun. So I love the fact Ketuo just, you know, maybe not month after month, but throughout the year, they put out all kinds of awesome stuff. And in 2026, you know, as long as I've been around and known about Ketuo, this is easily one of their best years they have had. And we're only halfway through the year at this point in time, maybe a little bit past halfway. And they have had a killer year from their budget line all the way up to their more expensive stuff, which, you know, if you're looking for real expensive, they got it, you know, $500 and beyond. And if you're looking for, you know, a more affordable approach to a pocket knife down at, you know, 50, 60, 70, they're going to have that type of stuff as well. And it's going to have a similar flair as their premium line or something like this here. But the materials are a little bit more affordable than the stuff you're going to have on these knives. Same quality though, same fit and finish, but just not quite as premium of materials. You'll have to let me know what you think of the Akimbo here down in the comments. I always look forward to hearing your thoughts. I will have links to it down in the description, along with all the other new releases from Ketuo. Do me a solid and hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to be sure to see more dope knife and EDC content, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I'll pop up a couple of new videos you haven't seen yet. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.